Welcome back to the Castle Grounds apiary. Today, I've got ants. So we've done this for a few years now, and I swear we see something new every daggum day. And here's another something new. We've dealt with ants before, but never quite like this. We had some big ants that would like to get into the hive, and then we had some medium-sized ants that just like to live in cracks and corners, and then we've got these little bitty striped ants that just like to eat our syrup and make a mess in our bees' food. So I don't know where they came from. I don't know what they are, but so far they are in almost every single hive we have that has a migratory top. And I think part of the reason is because the way these migratory tops work is they just don't seal well, and not at all on the sides. And we run straps on our hives, and I think what it does is it pulls it tight in the center and then it deflects on the edges, and it creates an entry point on the ends. So we may have to modify that. I'm not sure. If you know what these are and a good way to deter them, I would love to hear it. I posted a picture on our Facebook page today, and somebody said they were carpenter ants. Not sure. If they are, okay. If they're not, whatever. But if you know a good way to deter them, I'd love to hear it. A gentleman on there did mention cinnamon. We've never tried cinnamon, so I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this. And I don't know if it's going to work, but time will tell, because this is the second time in a row I've gotten into these hives, second week in a row, and I've cleaned all the ants out, and they have come back strong. So I'm going to pull this off, get it nice and cleaned out, rinse it out with some water, then we'll add the fresh feed or syrup, sprinkle the cinnamon on, and then we will come back in a week and see if they're still here. Alright, you can see I've completely rinsed, wiped, dried out the feeder, got all the dead bees out, all the old ones, kind of syrup out. It's a beautiful fall day. Probably about 65 degrees, and the bees are just loving it. Alright, so here's what I'm going to try. So I've got the feeder cover over the inner cover hole just to contain some of the bees. Now I'm going to take the cinnamon. I'm just gonna you know, all around. No clue how effective this is, and you're not gonna know until you watch the next video. Sorry about that. But one can hope that this deters the ants a little bit. I don't know the science behind cinnamon and the anti-ant properties, but we're gonna give it a go. Sorry if it's windy. Take the cap off. What we got going on in there? Oh yeah, bees loving it. Drop the feeder back in. Gotcha. And those suckers are ready to go. All right, so now we've got clean feeder, all the ants out, a nice thick cinnamon perimeter. Wow, he's angry. I have a little cinnamon on the cap, it looks like. Oops. Okay, now we're gonna fill up the feeder with our 2-to-1, and we'll come back in a week or two and see if this was effective. I don't know. Skeptical, but hopeful. All right, thanks for watching.